What's going on, movie fans? My name is Michael Weer. I love talking about movies, and we have made it to the 5th month of 2026. May of 2026 is here, and with a brand new month comes a brand new slate of movies. And that's what we're here to talk about today, because at the beginning of every month on this channel, what I like to do is take a look forward into that month at all of the brand new movies that are coming out, whether they're going to theaters or they're going to streaming, and tell you guys about my excitement and my anticipation for those movies. As always, these are the movies that I'm most looking forward to. I'd love to know all the movies that you're most looking forward to in May of 2026. So out of all these movies we talk about here today, throw your top 5 in the comment section down below. Let me know what you're most looking forward to. And finally, guys, before getting into this video, if this is the first time you found my channel, well, I would love for you guys to hit that subscribe button and check out all the different content that I have. Whether you like movie reviews, Blu-ray talk, or even ranked list videos, I've got a little bit of everything on my channel, and I'd love for you guys to check it out. All right, let's get into May of 2026 upcoming movies.
Here we go.
That is one big pile of shit.
No, I shot him. Bullets in the fall killed him.
Coming out today on May 1st, we have 3 brand new movies to talk about. The first one is a shark attack film called Deep Water. And in this film, you've got a plane full of people crossing an ocean. When something happens on the plane, it explodes mid-air, and the people that were lucky enough to survive this plane crash into the water and are clinging on to different pieces of the plane that are still floating, well, now they have to deal with some pretty horrific shark attacks, and I get really excited for shark attack movies. Even last month, I gave a chance to a Netflix released film called Thrash. It was about this town that got flooded by sharks. It ended up being one of the worst movies I've seen in a very long time, but I always give shark attack movies a chance, and so I'm looking forward to Deep Water. Next up, we have the long-awaited sequel of The Devil Wears Prada 2. The original Devil Wears Prada movie came out 20 years ago in 2006, and yet for this sequel, we are getting the original cast back together of Stanley Tucci, Emily Blunt, and Hathaway, and of course, Meryl Streep. I'm very excited to see what they do with this film. I actually just watched The Devil Wears Prada for the very first time just a couple of nights ago for a movie night down here with my wife. That video is currently up on my channel, so if you want more of my thoughts on the original Devil Wears Prada film, or you just want to watch me and my wife sort of riff back and forth with each other for 30 minutes, well, that video is on my channel, and I'd love for you guys to check it out. As far as The Devil Wears Prada 2, I wasn't very excited about this until I had seen that first film a couple of nights ago, and now I am locked into this movie. I really loved that first Devil Wears Prada movie, and I'm looking forward to The Devil Wears Prada 2. I already have my ticket. I plan on seeing it later today. I'm very excited to go watch this thing. And the third and final movie coming out today on May 1st is one that I have to scream from the mountaintops to fellow horror fans to go check out this weekend, because it is excellent, and it is the film Hokum. I had the opportunity to see this a couple of weeks early at an AMC Scream Unseen event, and I'm so happy that I went to that event, and I'm so happy that that's the movie they ended up playing, because I had such a damn good time with the film Hokum. I already did a quick reaction for that movie and a full review for it. You can check that out on my channel if you want, but I'm telling you guys, if you're a horror fan, go in and watch Hokum as blind as you can. You will not be disappointed. It's from the same director that made the movie Oddity back in 2024. That ended up being my favorite horror film from that year, and with Hokum, it's very likely that it'll be one of, if not my favorite horror film from 2026. Like, it is that damn good. I can't stress that enough. Go check out Hokum this weekend. Again, if you're a horror fan, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Moving on to the second weekend of the month, we have 2 brand new movies to talk about. The first one is called The Sheep Detectives, and The Sheep Detectives stars Hugh Jackman as a shepherd that likes to read detective novels to his sheep, and then when something mysterious happens to him, well, the sheep become detectives on their own. It looks like a silly comedy, maybe something that might be family friendly. I'm not 100% sure about that, so don't take my word at that, but it does look like a fun time at the movie theater, and one that I'll try to check out on opening weekend. But the other movie coming out on May 8th is absolutely a day one film, a movie that I have to watch in theaters on opening weekend. In fact, I already bought my tickets. It's on my top 10 most anticipated movies list of 2026, and it is Oh, I am so excited for this new Mortal Kombat movie, a movie that was slated to come out in October of last year on my birthday weekend. And I thought, oh, this is going to be the coolest birthday present to me. And then they ended up moving it to summer of 2026 because people reacted so positively online that they thought, wait a minute, we could get more money if this released in May. And they're probably right. And while I was very disappointed back in October, we are finally here in May of 2026, and on the 8th day of May, Mortal Kombat 2 hits theaters. Oh, and I'm so pumped about it. Just the idea of getting Carl Urban in as Johnny Cage, that makes me so excited, but the trailers have done it for me. Every single trailer we've gotten for this movie looks like exactly what us fans want out of a Mortal Kombat film. And while I enjoyed that first Mortal Kombat movie that came out in 2021, it had its issues making Cole Yun this new character sort of the star of that film. It didn't work for me, and it didn't work for a lot of people. But again, you're making the focus of this movie Johnny Cage. You're making Carl Urban your main character. Oh, sign me up. I'm excited to watch Mortal Kombat 2 in theaters on opening weekend. Got to take a break from movies here just for a second, because every once in a while in these upcoming movies videos, there's something that's close to a movie or it's a TV show, something I'm excited about. And that's the situation we have going on right now, because on May 12th on Disney Plus, we are getting a 1 hour, I guess call it an episode of The Punisher called Punisher One Last Kill. This will bring back Jon Bernthal as the Punisher, and it's got some connective tissue to both Daredevil Born Again Season 1, where we last saw the Punisher as he broke out of that prison cell that he was put in by the Kingpin, but also I would assume this is going to have connective tissue to Spider-Man Brand New Day, which comes out in July of this year, because we know the Punisher is going to interact with Spider-Man in that film like we've seen in the trailer. So I'm not sure if we'll get a shot of Spider-Man or if we'll get a shot of Daredevil. Punisher kind of works on his own and he kind of is in a weird gray area, but I don't care. This will be 60 minutes of me sitting in front of my TV excited to see Jon Bernthal as the Punisher one more time. I don't know how many more times we're going to get Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. They won't seem to commit to giving him a full-length movie. They're putting him as a side character in the upcoming Spider-Man film. And then with Doomsday and Secret Wars coming out in the next couple of years, they're going to reset the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I don't know if we're going to continue getting Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. So whenever we get him as Punisher, that gets me excited. So on May 12th, you can be goddamn sure I'm going to be watching Punisher One Last Kill. That'll bring us to the third weekend of the month where we have two more movies to talk about. The first one is called In the Gray. This movie is directed by one of my favorite movie directors, and that would be Guy Ritchie. And it also stars two of my favorite actors working today in Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, we've seen both Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal work with Guy Ritchie in the past, but never together. And so that kind of a team up gets me really excited. In this film, you have Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal playing covert operatives who get sent in to steal back a stolen fortune, and that's really all I know about this movie. I have not seen any previews for it. I have tried to avoid them like the plague, so all the stuff I just told you is what IMDb is telling me online. I really don't know anything more than that. Just the idea of it being a Guy Ritchie film with both Jake Gyllenhaal and Henry Cavill, sign me up. I'm there on day one. I can't wait for In the Gray. And the other movie coming out on May 15th is a horror film that horror fans have been hyping up for several months. Some would even say horror fans are absolutely obsessed with this film, and the movie is called Obsession. And Obsession is a movie about a man who uses a magical item to make a wish, and the wish is that the girl he has a crush on will fall madly in love with him. But instead of just falling madly in love with him, she becomes more and more obsessed with him to a very violent point. And the trailers for this movie, they started off kind of soft. Guy making a wish, calling into the wish factory and saying, hey, can I have this wish reversed? And they're like, why would you want to do that? That's not how it works. And that was pretty much the trailer. And now we're actually seeing the absolutely crazed girlfriend getting violent silent with him in the trailers. And all I have to say is that I'm hoping this isn't overhyped for me. I'm hoping that fans online who had the chance to see this early haven't overhyped it for the rest of us. I'm hoping for a very good horror film. Anything more than that, and I'll be absolutely excited about it. So I will be checking out Obsession on opening weekend. Will you guys? Coming out on May 20th, we have one film to talk about going directly to streaming. This movie's going to Amazon Prime Video. And honestly, after the film Balls Up that came out on Amazon Prime Video last year, I'm not very excited about anything they're going to release. However, that being said, this movie does star John Krasinski, and it's called Jack Ryan: Ghost War. Now, John Krasinski has been in the Jack Ryan show for a while now. Admittedly, I haven't watched all of it. I've seen a couple of episodes. Of course, he's a great actor, so anything he's in, I do get a bit excited about. I assume this is a direct continuation from the show, so I don't know if you haven't seen the show if you'll be completely lost, but because it stars John Krasinski, I will check this movie out, hoping not to be lost by some subplots that maybe are from the show itself, and I'm hoping for a good new Jack Ryan movie, because of course we've had many Jack Ryan movies over the years. Harrison Ford, Ben Affleck, Chris Pine, I believe all of them have been some version of Jack Ryan over the years, and now we have John Krasinski as Jack Ryan, and again, maybe just a fun espionage spy thriller movie. That'd be nice. Then we move on to the fourth weekend of the month, where we have three more movies to talk about. The first one is called Tuner. Tuner is a crime thriller film about this kid who has a heightened sense of hearing, makes him a great piano tuner. He's able to hear things very well when tuning a piano, but then his mentor, played by Dustin Hoffman, quickly pulls him into the underworld, where he starts having him crack safes for a living, and so it becomes a bit of a crime thriller. The preview looked good for this movie. The concept feels fresh and original, so I'm looking forward to Tuner. Are you going to check that movie out? Next up on May 22nd, we have The Mandalorian and Grogu movie. This movie is, of course, the spin-off movie from The Mandalorian TV show. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I watched the first two seasons of The Mandalorian, really loved that, everything that they had going on. I also watched The Book of Boba Fett. I enjoyed some of that, and I don't think I ever watched The Mandalorian season 3. I think I completely fell off of that and never got back to it. In fact, I think there's 3 seasons. There might be 4. I genuinely don't know. And to be completely honest, I don't really know how much I'm excited for The Mandalorian and Grogu. Had this been something they released after season 2, when it was sort of at the height of The Mandalorian, then maybe I would have checked this movie out with more anticipation. As it stands now, it's a Star Wars movie that I'm not super excited about. I want to be excited for this movie, but every time I see a trailer, it just doesn't do it for me. I'm not a kid, so I'm not like super excited to see Baby Yoda walking around and using the Force. And The Mandalorian, played by Pedro Pascal, is cool. I liked what they did with him in both season 1 and season 2, but again, I just sort of lost interest in that show, so I don't have a ton of interest in this movie. I want the movie to do well, but I'm just not very excited. Will I check this out on opening weekend? Probably. I'll probably bring my son. He'll probably enjoy the whole Mandalorian and Grogu thing, but yeah, I'm not super excited, not trying to not sell it to you guys. Let me know in the comment section. Are you excited for this movie? I feel like it's the first Star Wars movie that's come out where I have little to no anticipation. Like, I'm just like, well, when it comes out, it comes out. No big deal. And I hate feeling like that as a Star Wars fan, but that's kind of how I feel about this movie. And the final movie coming out on May 22nd is another horror film, and my God, I'm excited for horror movies in May of 2026. But this next movie we're going to talk about is called Passenger, and Passenger is a film about a young couple who gets terrorized by some sort of entity after witnessing a fatal accident. Now, that's the description online. I really don't know too much more about this movie. I did see the little teaser trailer they played before Scream 7 a couple of months ago, and that was a very effective trailer. Very quick, very effective. For those of you who don't know, here's what happens in that quick teaser trailer. There's 2 guys seemingly on some sort of a road trip. One of them says, hey, I need to use the bathroom. He gets out to use the bathroom, and then when he comes back up to the car, the horn is going off. All the doors, the trunk, it's all open, and the driver is missing. So the guy's weirded out, but then he hears some noises. He kind of freaks out, closes the doors, and starts driving, not sure what to do. And he starts seeing what looks like a hitchhiker on the road. He passes the guy as the guy turns to look at him, and then he comes around a bend and the guy is there again, and then he passes him as the guy stares at him, and he does this 3 or 4 times. And on one of those turns, as the camera shifts towards the hitchhiker who's looking in the car, all of a sudden that guy's in the car, and it was a very well placed and effective jump scare. And I guess keep in mind that my excitement for this movie is based off of a teaser trailer and the synopsis online, but honestly, those two things did it for me. As a movie fan, as someone who loves watching horror films, if you can give me an effective teaser trailer and give me a synopsis that gets me interested, like, oh, okay, a couple witnesses a fatal accident and now some sort of entity is following them, it's latched itself onto them, like that gets me interested. So I'm excited for Passenger. Will you guys be checking this out on opening weekend? We have to take a quick break from movies one more time in this video to talk about a TV show that's going to Amazon Prime on May 25th, something that I'm very much so excited about, and I believe we're getting all of the episodes on May 25th, which is very appreciated because I'll get to binge this entire thing right away, and it is the show Spider Noir. Now, for those of you who might not know, Spider Noir is Spider-Man in the 1930s. It's going to be in black and white, and oh yeah, it stars Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man. That is everything I've ever wanted, ever. Like, that's so exciting to me. We did get Nicolas Cage voice acting as Spider Noir in the movie Into the Spider-Verse, which was an animated film, but this is not an animated show. This is a live-action show of Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage in the 1930s as Spider-Man. Sign me up. This has me the most excited of any TV show in 2026. I'm so very hyped for this show. And that brings us to the final weekend of the month, May 29th, where we have 2 more movies to talk about. The first one is called Pressure, and Pressure is a film that stars Brendan Fraser as General Eisenhower during the very tense 72 hours leading up to the D-Day invasion. And this film is really just him struggling with the idea of sending all of these troops during what looks like one of the biggest storms of the century. Of course, historically, the Americans did attack on D-Day during those storms, and it was one of the first dominoes to fall for the Nazis leading up to the end of World War II. And I love talking about World War II, reading about World War II, watching films about it, and so I'm excited to check out Pressure. And the other movie coming out on May 29th is an A24 horror film called Backrooms, and Backrooms follows a group of people that go through a strange doorway that leads them to the endless Backrooms. And I really don't know much more about that. I know this is based off of a web miniseries, I believe, but that's really all I know. I've seen a trailer for this. The trailer didn't give too much away. The movie stars both Chiwetel Ejiofor and Mark Duplass. I'm excited to see them in a movie together, so I'm looking forward to this. Again, just another horror film that we're getting in May of 2026, and that gets me excited. And guys, those are all the brand new movies coming out in May of 2026 that I'm excited about. Are you excited for any of these? Don't forget to list the ones you're most excited for in that comment section down below. And finally, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button because it helps the video, it helps the channel, and it helps me right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, guys, we got to the end of my May 2026 upcoming movies video. I love making these videos, talking to you guys about my excitement and my anticipation for movies that haven't yet released. I'm very excited to check so many of these movies out, and I'm looking forward to talking about these movies with all of you throughout the month, whether that's through YouTube Shorts or doing full movie reviews. I'm just very excited for all of the movie content we're about to get in May of 2026. But until then, if you want to check out any of the other content on my channel, well, I've got all of my upcoming movies for 2026 videos right there, and I've got all of my 2026 movie reviews right there.